I've been trying to do the important work here. I can't start fussing.
They're all adults, right?
All three
No, my youngest is, he's 17 still.
all three are boys. You were out number.
The lady in the car with maybe 30.
I had people that worked for me that they had 8 children, all girls, and number 9. They probably had
God, both of my boys are in their 40s.
Better pick this thing.
Well, they just, no, they were, it was religious driven, but it was, and they'll probably have.
Like the new clock location. Yeah, because then my remote actually rings.
Yeah, she can.
Good evening. We're going to call this meeting to order. This is the Bath Charter Township Board of Trustees meeting for Monday, March 16th. Welcome to everyone who's joining us. Let's start with a roll call.
Mr. Fewins-Bliss?
I'm here.
Ms. Butler-Challender here. Ms. Wilson?
Here.
Ms. Hagerman?
Here.
Ms. Kellerman?
Here.
Mr. Kotke?
Here.
Mr. Rosekrans?
Here.
Thank you.
Gang's all here. Next up on the agenda is item 2, civic reflection. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance and end with a moment of silence. So please stand and join us if you are able for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And now a moment of silence. Thank you. It was not me. Next up on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. I did have one suggestion for a change, moving item 14, large B, small e, the second closed session, up to be 14, large b, small b, so we could do those closed sessions together. We would need to make a motion to that effect to say we're going into closed session for both of those purposes. But it makes more sense to me if we just go back there and stay back there unless you all want to do the Cupid shuffle back and forth.
I agree.
Might be how we get our steps in, but.
Agree.
You wanna
Any
make that
other
motion now?
changes or alterations? All right, so I would look for a motion to make that change and approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the agenda as changed tonight. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, we'll take a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Are there any disclosures of conflict of interest tonight on our topics? All right, seeing none, we will move on. Item 5 is public statement number 1. This is limited to 3 minutes where, members of the public can speak to the board about any topic that is covered on today's agenda. There will be a second opportunity for public to comment for an additional 3 minutes on other topics associated with the township at the end of the meeting, but public statement 1 is reserved for those items with a spot on the agenda tonight. Is there anybody who would like to speak for public statement? If you would, step up to the lectern, introduce yourself, and we'll start your 3 minutes. All right, seeing no movement in the crowd, we'll move on to items from county, state, federal, and other agencies. I don't see any of those folks here. Karen, were we expecting anybody?
We were not.
All
Thank
right,
you.
we'll keep on moving then. Item 7 is the consent agenda, where we have the minutes of the Planning Commission special meeting of February 24th. Would anybody like to remove those minutes from the consent agenda to discuss later in the meeting? If not, I would look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the consent agenda. It is the consent agenda, so we do roll call vote without discussion, so we'll move right to the roll call vote.
Mr. Rosekrans?
Yes.
Ms. Hagerman?
Yes.
Ms. Kellerman?
Yes.
Mr. Kotke?
Yes.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Fewins-Bliss?
Yes.
Ms. Butler-Challender, yes.
That motion carries. Thank you. Item 8 is approval of the minutes. This is the minutes of our meeting from March 2nd, 2026. Are there changes to those minutes or a motion to move those forward?
I'll make a motion to accept the board minutes from March 2nd, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion, questions, concerns about the minutes? Seeing none, we'll do a voice vote. All those in favor of approving the minutes of the Board of Trustees meeting from March 2nd, 2026, please say aye.
Aye.
Is anybody opposed? All right, that motion carries. Next up is the approval of vouchers. Are there questions, thoughts about the vouchers tonight, or a motion to move those forward?
I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the vouchers as presented tonight. Is there any discussion, questions, concerns about the vouchers? All right, seeing none, we'll take a roll call vote.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Fewins-Bliss?
Yes.
Ms. Butler-Challender, yes. Mr. Rosekrans?
Yes.
Ms. Hagerman?
Yes.
Ms. Kellerman?
Yes.
Mr. Kotke?
Yes.
Thank you.
That motion carries. Thank you. No treasurer's report. We will see the next treasurer's report on May 18th. No committee appointments at this point in the meeting. No committee reports. Item 12, which brings us to item 13, unfinished business. Large A, items for introduction discussion. First up is revenue options. I'm on the hook for this, but we have agreed that we are going to wait until we get more information from our staff on our L4029s.
Correct.
Thank you.
Good job.
Where are we at?
So the clerk located a box of files back to 2009 in the basement. Staff will continue that work, looking to see if we can locate those back to the date that our consultant, Rod Taylor, indicated. This may be a challenge for us because the records don't seem to exist here at the township. If there are archives that live somewhere else with the county or the equalization office, our staff will try to locate those. I probably will try to work with Mr. Taylor on what if we can't locate those, because it seems at this time that that might be a real, the reality of the situation is just that they just may not exist back to 1978, which he indicated would be the time in which we would need them to go back to. So I will keep you apprised as we move through this process, but we are diligently trying to find the documents.
We have agreed that we would hold off on discussions of other type of revenue until we knew about that charter operating millage. It seems like this is taking a bit longer than perhaps we had anticipated. How are people feeling about that plan still? Should we look to future meetings to have more conversations? Open for your discussions. I know we're on a time clock for certain deadlines that I don't want us to miss.
What was the consensus for the second option? Do we remember?
I don't know that there was one. I think we were
Okay.
gonna start to parse each one out and look at them individually, see what appetite the board had for special assessments, for a road millage, and then dive into those that there was interest for.
Have we gotten anything from the road commission on the millages from the other places, the other?
So
townships?
George Baker and I went to the county last Thursday for our annual meeting. That was discussed. They are still in support of doing that work for us. So if that is something that I should, I would say, have them start processing, they're willing to do that for us. So I could do that in conjunction with us looking for this data, because I do think those two processes could move at the same time and produce valuable information for this board.
Because what do we spend on roads a year? I mean, we have what, 350, 325 this year?
I think it's 300,000.
600 was last year, right?
Yeah,
And that's a big
600.
chunk
It's
of
been 4 to
budget.
6.
If we do a special assessment or a road millage. I mean,
So that would
everybody's
save
paying
money.
Instead of just certain people.
Yeah, out of the general fund. And they indicated they could prepare data that would show what it would take to maintain our roads, but then also to improve our roads. So they can prepare multiple sets of data for us.
Doesn't seem like it would hurt to collect
I
data
think we
at
should
this
start collecting
point.
data on that.
I would recommend that,
Okay,
yeah.
that's great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there other things you all want to do, or are we happy waiting another 2 weeks to hear how staff or county or maybe the state has found or not found our files? Excuse me.
I think what we're trying to do is pivotal. I mean, that should be the core, you know? So, I think we should, well, reluctantly hold off 2 more weeks.
Okay. Anybody disagree with that? All right. Sounds good. Thanks for
Thank you.
that discussion. Next up is 13 large AB, proposed workforce housing project on Tower Avenue. Superintendent.
Thank you. Your packet contains some information that was prepared by both the planning and assessing departments. In addition, the township treasurer forwarded you some information that I have with me tonight, if you were able to take a look at that. I think the key element that you were all looking for, if my understanding was correct at the last meeting, sorry, just trying to flip at the same time I'm talking, was to try to understand the project a little better and what it could bring to our area. And in terms of the dollars it might also bring to the Township of Bath. Some of the information shared by our treasurer indicated that out of the money that we receive, which is approximately $11,700 a year, not all of that remains here at the township, but a smaller fraction of that, which is about $2,000.
I think it was like 1,100 if you look at the highlighted, and that's 104.
And that was for 104 units. I received confirmation from Sean McMickle that they were looking at 42 units, and they do intend to wait to apply until October. Gives us a little bit more time to discuss this, which is what I had hoped originally, and I'm happy to see that back to our timeline. At this pace, we could take another meeting or two to continue to discuss this. Staff is trying diligently to provide you with information that's helpful to this discussion, and I'm prepared to have that discussion with you tonight, but we also need to understand what more you might be looking for. So we provided you, I think in the emails, with not only the breakdown, but also the ordinance that was passed at the last time we approved a pilot in the area, which was for Hawks Ridge. We would need to do something similar here for this project as well. And then talk about the benefits that might be accrued in the area and to the township because of the pilot program. As you can see from the packet, which was a couple of PowerPoint slides, the police chief and the fire chief both shared some concerns about the area where this is located, the type of housing it is. Sometimes is a bigger draw on police and fire services, but of course it's anytime you put a condensed amount of people into an area, of course there's a prevalence for calls because you have more people living there than a single resident. So I don't think it's anything out of the ordinary, but it is a little bit removed because of the location of the property. I know I talked to Trustee Hagerman about that at the last Planning Commission meeting. It is kind of a hop and a skip outside of our township to come back into our township, so it's a little awkward in that area. But I see the fire chief is here tonight, and I'm sure would be happy to answer any questions in terms of his comments on the slides. What you also have in the packet was the last page of that was from the assessor, looking at some of the allocation of the property taxes, and then the different options that if it was like a moderately used home price with a principal residence exemption, a new construction, and then what's currently there, and then as well as what if it was a proposed development with a more like the other apartment buildings that we have here in the township, what they would bring in revenue as well. So I'm happy to walk through those comparisons with you, but it was in an effort to assist you with this decision making, to show you what could be brought in and then what would be brought in if it were a pilot, an approved pilot. So I'm happy to explain anything you don't understand. I'm happy to take any questions, and I'm happy to take directions on what you think you might be looking for in the future.
Is one of these four what it would be if it were an approved pilot on this page?
No.
No.
Did
No, 'cause-
he had said he was gonna send some stuff. Have we gotten anything from the developer?
Not anything substantive.
feel like-
42 units would be half of what we're receiving currently from Hawks Ridge. So if you were looking in terms of the 4%, we receive 4% from Hawks Ridge, it would be approximately half of that. So we would probably be looking at $1,000.
But I don't know, is the rent gonna be set similarly to the rents in Hawk Ridge?
It was my understanding it was
Okay.
looking at like 50 or 80%. I could confirm that with him, but I think.
Okay, I feel like we should
Of
wait.
median income.
I would wanna wait until we have the information that he said he was gonna send.
So Miles told me that he would not recommend we use that information as true.
Okay.
So I don't know what to do with that.
So then
Well,
should we
I
not
think-
send it?
We haven't gotten anything.
We haven't gotten
Okay.
anything from them.
Otherwise
So I
it'd
think
be-
the problem is that, like, currently Hawks Ridge has some vacancies in their program that will also reduce the amount that we receive. If you look at one of the pages that the treasurer sent, the vacancy obviously just takes away from any
Right.
monies that we would get. But I don't know why under what circumstances he told you that he wouldn't rely on that information, because he and I did not have that conversation, so.
I mean, his argument, which makes logical sense, is that it's gonna be favorable numbers that aren't necessarily from our
Oh,
data.
from our team, our resources.
Right.
Okay.
That it would be, these are my words, not him, but not the smartest use to just trust the person.
The developer.
The people trying to sell us on the product. That's not to
Okay.
say they are bad people or they would
No,
ever do
I hear
anything
you.
wrong, but
I hear
I
you.
understand what he's
Yeah.
saying.
I think
Yeah.
I still feel like it would be fair to give him the chance to present it. I mean, certainly, it would raise some questions of our team is coming up with, or this is what we get for Hawks
Yeah.
Ridge, and then this is what you're showing, why is there, if there's a discrepancy between those,
Mm-hmm.
then could you explain why you believe that to be the case? I think that would be,
I mean, there's always the
Fair,
option that they
but-
may negotiate more than the 4% we're getting from Hawks
We
Ridge.
get
'cause it
4%
said
Yeah,
4 to
absolutely.
10%, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead,
One of
Sherry.
the things that I think about, we talked to police, we talked to fire, but we make a total of $11,000 approximately from Hawks Ridge. How many children are
1,100.
living, 1,100? 11,000.
No,
From Hawks Ridge.
1,100. If you looked at my email and the attachments, it was 1,100 that the township kept.
Other taxable
So they
authorities
have
are
the
getting
full
other
tax
money.
bill.
Getting
Then
the other
how many
$9,000.
children are in our schools? What did that cost this township? That's, police and fire is one issue, but a huge one is how many children are there in our schools that we're gonna have to build more buildings, et cetera?
Well, they're on that side, they would go to East Lansing.
They would go in East
No, they
Lansing.
wouldn't.
it's
The-
in Bath
The
It's
superintendent.
Oh, they are?
It
Yeah.
seems like they would go,
Yeah.
but it
Tower
isn't.
Garden.
I was as surprised as you, but I did a deep dive on the school district boundaries.
That comes
Well,
to
it's still
us.
a choice, they could all
Yeah, but I'll
choose
tell you,
to-
Sherry, the
true.
superintendent, we met with the
Mm-hmm.
superintendent on Friday, he is very excited about more kids coming into the district. He
Yeah.
wants more kids.
Well, they do, they need more.
Yes, every
get
student
more
brings
money
with them about
with the state.
$10,000
You're taxing
in
me.
funding from
Yeah.
the state.
They
Right.
get more money through the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But
it
you all-
isn't just the millage, it would be, the payments they receive, it's a per pupil amount that they receive, like on count day, that's why we, contend that count days are so important, is because the schools receive an amount of money per student, for
Is
them
it-
being
Is it
present.
total, or do you also tax everybody else in the township to make up for that difference?
Well, since 1994, school funding has come from the state of Michigan on a per pupil basis.
Total.
The property taxes that go to the school in your tax bill, those would be the things that we vote for in the bond, which would be improvements to the buildings and physical things like that. They don't pay for salaries, they don't pay for consumable items. that you would-
Expansion, more rooms?
That-
That would be bond, yes.
Yes.
That would be a
But funding is paid for out of sales tax from the general fund in the state of Michigan since 1994.
Yeah,
So it's a
so-
different system than what maybe was in place.
Or in the state
Long ago.
education tax.
Yeah.
So I would offer that on that sheet that the treasurer distributed to you all, the state education tax brought in about $1,000, and I'm approximating here are the levels that are on the sheet. The Bath School debt was about $1,300, Bath School operating was about $5,200, and then the Bath School sinking fund received about $165. So out of that $11,500 that we're looking at, they are receiving far more than the township, but it broken down, again, not large amounts, so. But they also receive that per pupil amount. that
Yeah, for the school,
trustee.
one student would cover that total amount.
Did the superintendent say if there are any kids attending Bath in that area currently?
In Hawks Ridge?
No.
No,
Tower
in
Avenue.
Tower
Tower
Avenue.
That
he did not.
little
We didn't
small
ask
We didn't
bit
ask
that's
that.
in the Bath School District? Because I was just wondering, from a transportation perspective, if they already go there,
Yeah, they go there.
then it's a wash,
Because the bus already goes
because the
there.
bus already goes there.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
I mean, still, I think one kid at 10 grand would cover the bill of running the bus
Probably, yeah.
down there. Go ahead, Al.
How many years did you say they were asking for abatement?
20, I think is what they said.
Correct.
Because the other one was more years.
So the Hawks Ridge, for the senior building, that agreement runs through 2044. So there's, it was a 37-year duration from adoption.
And this is a 20.
Correct.
And Hawks Ridge is 240-something units, is that correct?
100,
Yeah, total.
Yeah, 104 total.
But
And
is
this
the
one's only-
pilot is off on the other piece, isn't it?
I'm sorry?
On the,
The other piece of the property?
it's only on the senior side, it's not on the.
I do believe that's accurate. Yes.
Because I think that ran out,
Yeah.
and they never asked us to re-up it.
And this one's 46 units in between the two buildings, so roughly just
Half?
half, swag at half, so
Yeah.
maybe we should ask him for 8%?
Will you remind me of the formula that they use? I wrote it in my notes from the last meeting, but I didn't bring them with me.
Yes, I have the documents
And
with
I
me.
asked him
Just
to
one
explain
moment.
it to me, and he did.
Yeah, because it's like the,
And honestly, Karen, I think the paper I gave you from Hawks Ridge has it kind of broken down line by line on how they calculate it for us.
It was
If
rent
you see, it's
minus
like rent
utilities.
minus utilities minus that one I just copied this afternoon.
Yeah. This one?
Yeah, I mean, if you follow it down, but.
Can you go make some copies? I'm gonna give away my copies, so I'm not gonna speak, but I can speak to you from the, information that was submitted to us last time.
So currently, the township is getting like under $400 for that property, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, 356, yep.
What is the 3.55 million?
That's if somebody
Estimate.
built a bigger house on it.
Okay.
like,
Because the
but that'd be
lot
a
itself is
development,
big.
right?
$3
Not
million,
just a house.
$3.5 million
It could be another
house on
apartment
a
complex.
1 acre?
That's what I read it as, like
An
what a
apartment com-
comparable
Yeah.
apartment complex would.
Okay.
An
So
apartment
like a 46-unit apartment complex would cost
Without a pilot.
3.5 million? Okay.
So, Mr. Chair, it would be based on, it's my understanding that is the percentage at which they charge of income. So it would depend on that, but it is then reduced by the amount they pay for utilities.
So rent minus utilities. And that's the whole formula?
And then whatever percentage we agree to of that, so, you know,
Times the
times
pilot.
Yeah.
number of
rate.
units.
Okay. Got it.
So roughly, if we asked for 8%, it would basically equal Hawks Ridge.
Depends on what they charge for rent. We don't know.
Well, I would say it's gonna be roughly the same. I mean, it's not
I
gonna
mean,
be.
that is senior housing, this is looking to be workforce housing, so it
True.
could be a difference.
Yeah. They might charge a little more. But that's the type of stuff we would get
Thank you, ma'am.
probably in
Yeah,
their
that's-
numbers.
If he brings it, yeah.
Ryan,
Also, I drove down there last week. Any improvements to that road?
I gave my copies to
You're
Karen.
welcome.
You went over there?
I did. I may have left some of my car behind, but,
So I do
Pretty rough.
think, that is one item that I would like to point out. I do think that should the area be improved, if they have money available to them to pave the road, to make these improvements, to bring sewer and water, that is an improvement that we would not ourselves have to invest in that area. And I do believe that, I think you've called it spin-off development in the past. And I do think there would be an opportunity for that spin-off development to come to that area that wouldn't normally have come to that area because it's residential currently without those improvements. I would point out that the thoughts from the economic development perspective between the planner and I were that anybody living there would most likely go to and associate with East Lansing businesses. So I don't know that Bath sees, Spags isn't gonna pick up more traffic, anything here in this area is not gonna pick up, the economic development of the development, but certainly, it's still a boon to this area.
Unless they were bringing their kids to school.
Correct.
Or something along
Correct. And then they
those
could
lines.
visit the farmer's market, they could go to
Right.
Spags, they could
Yeah.
visit Tommy's, things of that nature. I think you're correct.
Or
Trustee
using the
Hagerman.
library or something. along
Very
those
much so.
lines.
On the old images, it shows what I would read as like a dirt road
That's correct.
that leads from Chandler over. Is that a thing?
No,
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That might be, I want to offer you like a farm lane or something maybe used
not a
by
road.
somebody in that area for their property, but there's not a
I think
road.
the
You would have to go.
drain
Which part
also
of the
shows
Drain?
up sort of
How
like
far
Chandler
out?
Drain.
Like
Okay.
just south of the old sod farm and just north of Tower. There was this,
The road goes one way.
If you give us just one moment, it might.
I mean, it looks like a dirt road, but
It could be the
That's
drain.
a-
That's the
The
driveway
deputy
that goes into
superintendent's
that,
gonna bring it up for
you going to
us.
fetch, Taylor?
Maybe just Google.
Storage area, yeah, what you're talking.
I don't know.
I think it's
Give us one moment.
roadway that they put in there for that driveway.
I'm just wondering if,
It's
for
just an
emergencies, it could be used during summer, probably not winter. It'd just be another access point that you don't have to drive around.
The drain.
And he did say.
I don't think it's a drain. I don't think the drain shows up on a map like this, but I could be wrong.
Chief Kunter might be interested in one of those, boats that you drive on land.
Well, if it's side, we don't want to drive across.
Amphibious assault.
He's got a four-wheeler, right?
I don't see it up there.
Keep going
I
up.
think if you go up a little
Well,
little farther north.
Yep,
Because
keep
the
going.
property's right there.
Keep going.
So-
There.
There, yeah.
So see where that looks,
Old
what looks like a roundabout there?
That
in the
road
middle of
goes
that
just to the
north-south
right.
road?
Around it.
That
There
ain't-
is
That
a-
isn't road to the left.
There is a fence right there,
so you
right
can
next to
actually
that
through it.
barn,
To go back
and
to
it
that
says
business.
private agricultural property,
It's
and
private
there's a
property.
fence
That's-
close
That's
there.
owned by Hammond, and
Let's
that's
drag it to see how far, if it goes out to Chandler.
to west. Drag it west, yeah, there you go, see it.
Thank you.
Nope, because there's a drain right there.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does look like that,
That's
okay.
The
the
driveway you see is where that cul-de-sac is,
Yeah,
and that just goes into that.
No, I wasn't looking at the driveway, I was looking at
He
the
was
map.
looking just north of that.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I see that. That,
I mean, I think you
I
could
never did go
physically
out.
get there, but
private road?
it's not public.
Yeah,
yeah, they use it for
Farm lane?
farming.
that's the
Do they
problem.
have
That's what I was
guardrail right
thinking.
there? I can't remember.
And it says that that large place is an equestrian.
It's
North
it's a
of
wildlife
property.
rescue now.
It used to be,
Oh, it's
but
now it's
not
wildlife
anymore.
Yeah,
rescue.
that's where they take the critters,
Do they
they raise
still
deer,
do that, or
yeah,
is
they
it-
did last year.
So what else do you need from us then now, Karen? It sounds like we are looking for the information from the developers. There's some other information that,
And I'm happy to pull that together. I think, in terms of the decision, what seems to be the difficult decision before you is, we constantly talk about the need for housing in this area. And so if it's revenue or housing, I guess I'm asking, like, what information do you need to make this decision? Do you have what you need already? Obviously, you've asked me for some information tonight, and I'm happy to gain that information for you. What other things might you want to consider? We talked a little bit about spin-off. Of course, we can't predict the future, but I do think that should there be infrastructure there, it makes it a lot easier for someone else to come along and build more, different than what's already there. Of course, this hasn't gone through the planning commission. We've talked about some of the complexities of that process. And of course, I think the planning commission's fully able and ready to take this on and have that conversation there. But I guess I'm looking for, this seems like a difficult proposition. The things that we normally look at, tax revenue, and what that would be brought here, I think you have to look at a little differently in this situation if it is you're looking to bring more affordable housing here. So what does that look like, and do you need more information?
I think one thing that's pivotal is I don't want to say drastically, but I would say incrementally raising that percentage that they offer. And then also what the extent of the improvements they're going to make. He had mentioned they're going to pave the road, so I know that would have to be what do they call it, John Curb and Gutter. That's, I think that's what they'd have to do. And then the sewer, you know, that's a big one right there, cause
Yeah.
we know how much that goes, coming up and down Chandler Road, we're gonna have to pay for, so.
And that will be a cost to them
And it'll be, 100% cost to them and nothing to us.
for
so.
water and sewer, and it'll have to come from East Lansing, not us.
Yeah, Board of Water and Light would, that would be
Isn't that
from
Meridian Township?
Meridian.
It's
Oh,
Meridian.
That's Meridian,
It's
actually.
Meridian.
Meridian Township right
Meridian
there.
or Lansing.
It's Meridian
Well,
Township.
it's Board of Water and Light, and then,
Now, but that won't be our sewers, right?
no.
Correct.
Have they talked to Meridian?
Not that I'm aware of, and so that, of course, that's another potential pitfall too, is that
yeah.
they, you know, if they've contacted somebody over there and said, you know, we're interested, of course, anybody could have said, sure, we'll talk to you about it. Who knows what happens once they start those conversations? And I don't mean to sound negative to this project, I'm not trying to be, I'm trying to give you the information, but we all know, should they talk to a Miles or another person over there, it could get a little bit more difficult to work through some of those things. And of course, those intergovernmental agreements are sometimes difficult to achieve. We have some properties that are in Meridian Township that we service here in Bath Township. So I think we've set the precedence for we will work with them and help them achieve their goals. So I would hope there would be a reciprocal thought process behind that. Can't guarantee that, but
Yeah.
I think the potential's there. So,
I kind of feel like if they wanted to put in their application and go through the planning process, and then it would come back to us, then that would give us some time to get that other information and think about it a little bit.
I think it
I
goes
would-
the other way, though.
well, I think now
I
that
think
they're not
they-
applying
Well,
to
that's
the
what
state
the-
until October,
Yes.
I think it's a little, the preposition's a little different. They could see if this project maybe was more workable, but I think that I don't think they could pencil this, make this work if they don't have the pilot.
Yeah, I mean, he
So,
said that. He said
yeah.
they have to have the pilot
So I
in
think
order
that's
to
what
do the
you're referring
application.
to, but
So
trustee.
we have to say, yes, we're on board before it goes to the planning commission?
No, not the planning
Not the
commission,
planning
to the
commission.
state
To
for
the
the
state.
application.
But I do think it would take them some money and investment to say they're going to do the engineering plan, I mean, significantly less money than, you know, getting it ready to go right now to construction, but, I do think there would be an investment of potentially $6,000 to $10,000 for engineered drawings for the planning commission to take a look at it.
But it wouldn't go through the planning commission until it's gotten approved by the state, right?
No, I think they would probably run that concurrently and then also run it through, I would have to ask the developer. I don't mean to speak on behalf of the developer. To me, it would make sense to do all the things,
Oh, he did
Concurrently.
say we could submit a finished site plan
Yep.
with the application,
he
so
did.
maybe they would run it through the.
I guess I thought he was just coming to say, like, is it a hard no from the board of trustees? And then we know where we stand. And it doesn't sound like we are saying, we're certainly not saying yes, but we aren't just.
No, I asked him
flat
last
out
time if we
saying
needed to
no.
pass the
Okay.
pilot in order for them to put it in the application. He said
but the
yes.
last,
Okay.
the last
Well, that
time he
makes
was
sense
here,
then.
though, it was his he was looking at an April application, not an
Yeah.
October application.
But that doesn't change the rules of the application.
No,
Okay.
It just gives them more time to like
correct,
work the project.
correct.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of places where this could fall through. I mean, just like so many places.
Yeah. They have, what do you say, a purchase agreement on the property?
Yes,
It must be
that was my
for
understanding as well,
a
purchase
long-term
agreement.
Purchase agreement. Okay.
So how do you wanna go forward, Supervisor?
Sounds like you all want some more information.
Information, mhm.
I think that's
If
good.
you should think of additional things in the next week that we could pull together for you, please do not hesitate to let us know. We will take, I will take what I heard tonight, forward and capture this information to bring back to you. And we will continue to look through information that we have, the treasurer and I. She's been a great asset in this process, just to kind of be able to review some of the information and get that out to you guys, so
I
that's
think
very
I-
helpful as well.
Would also like a stronger statement from the school. I know that's not necessarily our job to
Sure.
recruit that, but I think that that could be helpful.
I think Mr. Hodges would be happy to weigh in on this.
Yeah, he was very clear with us.
A letter of support would be good from them.
I don't know if they'll do a letter of support, but they might do a letter to us saying they're interested in having more students in the district.
Well, that's,
Cause he asked the same question about the Gary Lane development. How many families do we think might be moving in there?
I drove back there. That's where I've been going instead of over there, just to see if they're started.
Student population in the state is scheduled to go down through 2030,
Right.
and that is the cash cow for schools, so they are in a fight for student bodies.
Interesting.
All right, that feels like a good discussion. Any other things we want to share with the superintendent before we move on?
Do you feel like you're substantially lacking information on how the pilot works? Do you feel like you've seen enough in the last meeting and then tonight with the material that's been presented about how the formula works? I am curious, I think I will look into how increasing the percentage might work, because I truly believe there's probably some type of trigger that if it's a number of years, let's say 30 years or 40 years or 50 years, I'm sure it can increase in percentage. So I'll
Yeah.
look for some type of,
It's a go, no-go. I think the percentage will go
correct.
down the longer we, you know.
yeah, so
the
I will
shorter.
look for something like that that gives us some idea of how we arrive at that percentage.
And-
Obviously, 40 years, we arrived at the percentage we did with Hawks Ridge, would it be the same here? So that might help us come from a bargaining standpoint to understand what we can do with that percentage.
Well, theoretically, the rent would increase over time, which would increase the amount.
Yeah,
Could Beth run one of these taxable analysis on Hawks Ridge? As if, like, that building
If it was a
was
normal.
its own development, not a pilot? Sort of like she did in that fourth box, but I guess that we'd have more actual information, that she could probably come up with something real.
do you also feel like you've had enough information on the company, the Spire Development Company?
That was one of the reasons I asked him, tell us about who's making the money, you know, and how long they'd been.
I mean, clearly
in
they've done
business.
this before in other areas, they
Sounds like this is
provided
all
some
they do.
information on
They seem to
that.
know their beans, yeah.
Yeah, they do, because,
making
you know,
money.
success of the project does depend on their development, their
Right.
company, obviously. So I'm just asking some very direct questions to feel you out for, have you gotten enough on certain things and do you need more?
Yeah.
You can go to their website and look up the partners and everything,
Okay.
and who does what jobs, because I did that.
Okay.
We did that in real time.
I know, we did it while we were sitting here at the last meeting, I was just like, let's see.
You know, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't at least say, you know, depending on what kind of figures they give us, to accept a, you know, their application for a pilot program to the state. Because literally, they're gonna have to jump through some serious hoops to get it through, you know, for an SUP and approvals in that arena, if you will. So I guess that's my opinion, I'm sticking to it.
And it's gonna be a low-income housing, right?
Workforce.
Workforce
Yeah.
housing.
Yeah, workforce housing, like the working public, you know, that can't afford.
So I think you will have to be employed and have a certain level of income in order to live here. What they don't want, they're probably looking for somebody more like my son, starting out early stages of his career. They don't want me, they want somebody like my son, is what I'm thinking.
Well, workforce housing is a term that they usually use for like specific projects. Like Grand Traverse Resort was having a hard time getting housekeepers and folks to work during the summer. So they built workforce housing on the land that they would then rent for low amounts to their workers so they could attract workers, because you can't afford housing there. So they're sort of being cute here, I think, a little bit. It's not tied to any actual business or project. It's sort of the global thought of these people are folks we need in the workforce. It's probably not untrue, but I think it's a little,
But also not student housing.
Correct.
in an
Right.
area
I was
that
gonna
is
point that out.
Primarily student
One
housing.
road over,
Correct.
yeah.
right.
Yeah, and I was
know
gonna
the
point that out.
Seniors complain because they raise their rent every so often over there at the one behind the,
Hawks Ridge.
Hawks Ridge.
yeah, Hawks Ridge.
Behind
Okay.
the community center.
I've heard that for years from them. And some of them say that they're getting pushed out because they've raised it too much. They're raising it more than what they can afford.
I mean, I would imagine utilities probably drive some of that.
But also rent in the world right now is crazy. They're able to charge it because everyone needs a place. All right, you feel good about that, Karen?
I do, thank you very much for the
Good
conversation.
discussion, team.
Thank you, Karen.
That brings us to 13, large B, small a, Public Art Committee. Trustee Hagerman.
All right, I took the feedback that I got at the last meeting and made a few changes to this document. It's not drastically different, but I added some of the specifics that you had asked for. Ryan, you had asked for a name. I did a little bit of brainstorming and some AIing, which was not helpful, to try and come up with something that was not cumbersome or led to an unfortunate acronym. And I got Centennial Committee.
NAO.
So, I don't know if you have any other ideas. I don't think that's the most important part of this, is not what to call it, but, you had also asked to include site selection on there and some more specifics about membership, listing myself as the committee chair, Superintendent Hildebrandt, serving as the staff representative, and then community members who could apply to fill up to 7 more positions. I think that would be interesting, or plenty. I don't know what the interest will be. I know that I'm a little nervous based on the other committee and lack of interest thus far. But this is a little different. It's very specific, and it has a specific starting and ending date. So if there are some people who would be interested in this niche task to serve our community, I think I would really like to get started on it. I think we do not have much time to spare at this point.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Brenda.
If we have, can we lower this to 5 more positions, so there'll be a total of 7 people on the board, yourself, Karen, and the 5 other positions? Or do you really want 9 positions
I
on
don't
there?
care. I'm
Should take everybody.
Are you thinking Karen's gonna sit on the committee or staff the committee?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking Karen would sit on the committee,
Okay.
Okay.
because there would be some work to do, especially with the financial stuff. And I feel that just having an understanding of where that process is would be important.
I appreciate that.
So is it your recommendation we go to 5 for a
Well-
total of 7?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just kind of put up to a number,
Uh-huh.
thinking that I wouldn't want to turn interested people away. But if you think it's more reasonable, I'm
What
not
do you guys
committed
think?
to it one way or the other.
If she gets 7 more people, she gets 7 more people.
I
I'd
was
say
gonna
just-
say, oh, sorry. I did not mean to interrupt.
Yeah, I
I mean,
like
they're
the
all
up
volunteers. I
to
mean-
language, because it does allow you to,
Okay.
You know,
Are they required to be a Bath resident to be on your committee?
that's a great question.
Well, I didn't know, that was one thing I did not see in what you sent me. If there is a residence requirement to be on our committees or not,
Some
I-
of them did, and then
Okay.
some of them didn't, like DDA, you didn't have to be. You could own a business but not live in the township and still be on the DDA.
My only thought on that is that this is a very specific task. And I don't know if lightning would strike twice, like it did, say, for the Park Lake Committee, where you were able to get some super knowledgeable people about the lake all on this committee. I don't know, if we have enough interested in super knowledgeable people with the time availability to do this, just strictly limiting it to Bath Township residents or not. I would certainly be open to not making that a requirement, but I didn't know what the rules were necessarily.
I think it's up to us.
Yeah.
Okay,
The reason I ask
How do
is
people
because there's
feel?
a recently retired art professor that expressed an interest in helping.
it does or does not live in Bath Township?
She lives in DeWitt Township.
Okay.
Boo. Karen?
Well, boo what I'm about to say as well. Don't you have some individuals on the museum committee that are maybe families of those that were affected, but also do not live in Bath Township?
I think everyone on the committee at this time does actually
I don't know,
live
I
in
was thinking
Bath
that the
Township.
Balzers lived in DeWitt
They're not
Township.
on, they're not on the museum committee.
Oh,
They're
okay.
part of the Lions, and they were just at that centennial meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
But, yeah,
misunderstood.
they might actually be
That's what I was
interested in
thinking,
serving on
is
this,
that
so.
they might be interested, so
Yeah.
I was thinking of him specifically.
Is anyone interested in making it Bath Township residents only?
I think
No.
Kate needs to go outside,
I
because
think,
you never know who you'll get.
Yeah,
Yeah, no matter where you go, I think you should have the best, so.
And do our art teachers in the high school actually live in Bath Township?
I think
And-
so.
I don't know, but
Well,
I
at
did
least
ask
in-
the superintendent if
Yeah,
one of them
but I
might
don't
be
know.
interested in sitting on this committee, and he asked to
think-
have you send some information.
Okay.
Because I do think we should do some targeted recruitment
Yeah.
too, to make sure we have some people, because this is a very specific task, who know.
And is it something, maybe
how to
the
do this,
former
'cause I don't know that we do.
Right.
What was her name, Melissa
Eggleston.
Eggleston? She
Yeah.
might be
Oh,
I think
willing
she'd
to
be
be
a
back
real
on there.
good
Who
invite.
owned the
art gallery.
the art
I figured
gallery
once
down there.
this was up and going, I would send some thoughts Kate's way.
Maybe Nick.
Oh, Nick, yeah, whatever, yeah, on Clark Road.
Oh,
You know, the
Dutch
real
guy.
artist.
The one, him
Yeah,
and his
yeah.
wife.
The Michigan
who
books,
do the
yeah.
books and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Vajuzic or something like that.
Yeah, he'd,
Let's
German
try
name.
not to say it.
The German last name.
yeah,
I don't think
I
it's
I
German.
think it's Hickory Ridge Farm, I'll say that.
There you go.
There you go.
I just call him Nick.
Frankenhusen.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah,
Is that
that was
it?
good.
I did it.
That was good.
Van.
I really
Van
reached
Franklin.
for it.
Van, isn't it Van Franklin?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
His
thank
art
you.
is,
See, I had part of
amazing.
it, right?
Could we work through this question list in the MTA committee formation list?
I think that's what, you possibly said?
Yeah, you sent me an article that went through it. I read it.
Could we just walk through the questions it says we should ask to make sure we've answered them all? I've got them right here.
Oh.
I'm not just
Sure.
pulling
Oh,
stuff
yes.
out of the air.
It sounds like you're ready to go with that, so let's do it.
So we determine the number, establish how often the committee should meet. Are you saying monthly here? Is that what your
Yeah, at
intent
least,
is?
I think.
And you can call a special meeting if you have to.
Yeah, well, and at some point, there's gonna be a lot to do.
Yeah.
And then there's gonna be not so much to do.
Yeah, there's
And then there's
gonna
gonna
be
be a lot to
waiting.
do again.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed.
So at least monthly, you're saying?
People put the projects.
Determine compensation, if any, for committee members. Was your intent the compensation that we
Oh, you
normally
know,
offer?
I did not, think about that. I think my, intent was our standard for our typical committee meetings.
We're fine with that.
Will you remind us what that is?
20 and 25?
25.
Oh,
It's
25 and 30.
Yeah, it went up $5.
Thank you.
25 for like general members and 30 for the chair?
Yeah. You should give the secretary more money too.
The secretary does get 30.
They-
Oh, and secretary? Okay. But not like a vice chair?
The vice chair only gets the $30 if they run for the chair for everything.
Oh, man, you guys really track that stuff. Establish the scope or limit of the committee's purpose. I think you've done that well here.
Yep.
Direct the committee to comply with the Open Meetings Act and Freedom of Information Act, so we can just say, yes, they will be open, oops, I just wrote OPA instead of, I want some Saganaki. Review the committee's recommendations, final decisions are made by the board, not the committee. So then, if you all pick the projects, you would recommend that to us and then we would vote?
This is something we had talked about, last time, giving the committee the authority to award the contracts or bring them to the board. I feel, I could go either way with it. I feel that ultimately, it's our money, so we should have the final say, but I would,
Yeah, the
it would
town,
have to be
because the
something pretty
townships,
drastic for us to go against a recommendation, I
Yeah.
would think.
I
but-
would think so too, and that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
With the recommendation of the art committee, I do think because the board, the township is responsible for the grant, I see no harm in bringing it, as long as they rely on the
Yeah,
recommendation.
I think so.
And then I ask additional questions, of course.
Consider not authoring a committee to make any expenditures. If they're authorized by the township board to make expenditures, require that any and all expenditures be approved by the township board. I think that's the same concept.
Yep.
Establish a sunset date or dissolve the committee when the project's completed. And you're saying June, like June 30th, 2027?
Probably, yeah.
Debrief and determination.
I like that you have a debrief session. I think that'll be important. We should learn what worked about the structure, not just about the art piece. Great. That's the questions.
And so far, what is the budget that we have?
We've got the
16 plus 20,
16,
41,000? So not nothing?
I'm really comfortable with the framework that Trustee Hagerman's put together, and I really appreciate her work on this.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. So, this is under items for action, right? Would someone like to form a motion to approve the proposal with the additions we made tonight?
I'd make
Or
the
is there more
motion.
discussion, motion, okay?
I make the motion to approve the decisions we've made tonight to formally form the Public Art Committee. What did you call it? What was your
Centennial.
What was your
I put
acronym?
Centennial Committee.
Centennial
Okay.
Committee.
Centennial Committee.
I'll second it.
All right, there's a motion, a second. Is there other discussion, concerns, things we should consider?
Okay, with that motion, should we put the ending date approved, or just,
June 30th, 2027.
okay.
Is that enough, what we said, Lizzie, in the motion to capture all the additions we just made?
I believe that that's going to be satisfactory because I think the memo covered pretty much everything else that you had, so
Okay.
I'm comfortable.
And should this be a roll call vote or a voice vote?
Voice is fine.
Okay.
All expenditures are still coming through to you,
Right.
so that's usually the reason we look for roll call.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, well, hearing none, we'll take a voice vote. All those in favor of formation of the Centennial Committee as described in the memo, plus the additions we've made tonight, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Wonderful. More work for Kate. All right. Oh, I'm
Is
sorry.
Ray and Jennifer, did you second it? Okay, thank you. Okay,
Sorry, I moved a little fast there.
that's okay.
That brings us to item 13BB, the Eaton Area Ambulance Service Agreement. Can we believe that it's in front of us for real?
You can finally believe it. Legal counsel, Chris Patterson, and Tom Forgione, who is available with us tonight. I don't know that he was intending on speaking to this point tonight, but I do have in front of me his email outlining the changes that were made to the agreement from the original that you all saw back in potentially June of last year. There were no concerns from what I can see, but there were several items that changed because Sparrow Legal got involved, U of M Sparrow Legal. So some of those include, but not limited to, special event standby services. They did add additional fees to when Eaton Area EMS decides to provide emergency standby services. In the past, our team, police and fire, often provide those services to football games and other community events, and are on hand for that. So we don't anticipate that we would be requesting their assistance frequently, but of course we would if we needed to, or if they were happy to join us as well. The criteria for ambulance removed additional minimum of Eaton Area EMS providing at least one BLS, which is a basic life support unit, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And they're still providing at least 2 ALS, which is,
Advanced.
wow, advanced, like it almost slipped away from me right there. Thanks, Kate, you like grabbed it as it was slipping away. Removed a termination for noncompliance provision. We had a strict response time and reporting requirements. Those have been removed. The township can still terminate the agreement for any or no reason by providing 180 days prior written notice. So the legal team thought that removing the provision was not concerning because we still have that right. We are required in Section 8 to maintain the following insurance, which is general commercial liability, 2 million per occurrence, 3 million aggregate, and then some professional liability insurance. And then the term of the agreement, because so much time has passed, has obviously shortened, and it will end in December 31st, 2028, instead of the longer term, which was December of 2029. We don't have any concerns with that and feel that we will meet regularly with that team and then determine how we move forward in the future. And then the last but not least was the method in which subscription fees are calculated. In the beginning, it was based on the price of a new ambulance and has been prorated based on population and is $8 a resident over the life of of the agreement.
So we're
Annually?
up from,
No,
$8 a resident annually?
no, it's
No,
more like,
just
over, like,
over the agreement total?
over the agreement,
Oh.
total.
so that was an increase from, what was it, 6? They had proposed 6 at first, I think.
Give me just one
6
second,
something.
because I think it's still in
Excuse
here.
me.
I don't feel like very much money.
It's inflation.
I think it's a good deal.
I also
don't
agree with,
sound
you,
Yeah.
Trustee Hagerman.
30%.
I was looking
So
for
you're
the,
saying they took $8 times the population now?
correct. Why am I not seeing that? Are you seeing
Well,
it?
that
Oh,
math
it's right there.
isn't correct.
Give me just one moment. That's like 250. It's about 262, per year for each resident.
I'm sorry, what?
It's $2.62
Per person per year.
a person per year. So you're looking
So
at the
not
$8
Because
over,
It's the $8
the-
for over the term of the.
over the term of the contract.
Every person, adult or child.
Correct, 30,
Okay,
it's,
so that's
well,
where I
the
was getting the,
consensus
this
Yeah.
is the annual amount.
correct. The
Okay.
annual amount's 262.
Okay.
Your math worked, Mr. Supervisor?
Well, they're charging it over 3 years then.
Yes.
We just pay
So
annually.
it's about like $107,000.
106, yeah.
Payable, our allotment paid each year, I think I think it's within January. It's like the first few days of January each year.
So
Thank
we
you.
make a payment 26, 27, 28.
Correct,
No, nothing for 25.
correct.
Okay. And it's
Even though
okay
they
that,
operated in 25? We don't have to pay for that?
well, I guess
You're
it's
gonna-
built into the
If it's,
built in,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
bigger number.
Okay.
Would be my guess.
So-
but this
okay.
this was the amount, initially we were looking at too, so.
And it's okay, Lizzie, that this is backdated?
Yep, yep, we don't have any concerns with that, I think everybody understood from a,
Thank you, ma'am.
I think all the parties, including the new to the party, U of M Health, understood what you were trying to get at for purposes of providing the service, not providing it necessarily for free, which would have been great, nice little public service there. So no, we don't have any concern there, we just wanna make sure that we're clear on when our payments are due, because clearly you could not have made a payment in the first 60 days of 2026 to satisfy the contract term at section 6B. And so we'll just need some clarity on the back end of when is the first payment due, and then prepare for your second payment in 27.
Okay. Have the other municipalities ratified this yet?
They have,
So we're last.
they're ready to sign.
Okay.
We were first and now we're last.
Bummer.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We
so
did
it's
our due
January 1st
diligence.
of each year.
Should you just start on the next one now?
Oh, man.
Yes,
That's it.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
we'll have Tom send the email tomorrow.
Kidding, not kidding.
Next year.
Okay, any other questions, or is there action?
got one.
items? Go ahead, Al.
The senior housing for the people that need a lot of help. Live down the road from me. The ambulance makes at least 5 runs a week. Are they paying, and should they be paying more because of the frequency of the travel down there?
I think the calls, we have not had a chance yet to review the calls for the first portion of the year. We will be doing that and having a meeting. Nothing has been mentioned to me that it's outside of the normal business they would expect. DeWitt Township has facilities as well.
Yeah.
So at this time, no, Al, I don't think, I think it's basically in the call of duty of them rendering services to our community.
When they would bill the health insurance.
Yeah,
or-
they can
or-
bill that separately if they choose to do that, but, and I'm not aware if they're doing that or not. That is something I will ask when we have one of our first meetings. But I would offer you that that is built into the call volume of our township.
Okay. It's just they do go by an awful lot,
Sure, sure,
and they always stop right there. That's the sad part.
I know.
But technically, they're not paying anything for this, we are. So there's not even like anything to increase to say they should pay
No,
more.
but what I'm asking is, should we be charging them a little bit for this, because they have so many runs there?
I would think that their health insurance would cover that.
But that's if Eaton charges, if they bill.
Yeah, if
We
they-
don't bill as a township. That
Right.
would be if Eaton transports them, that would be up to them if they bill.
It sounds to me like Trustee Rosekrans is raising the question of how you fund the portions that you are, since you are paying for this, is there a reason to consider additional sources of revenue from people who may have a more frequent need to use it? Which of course could take the form of like a special assessment, for instance, or certainly you could do a township-wide millage. That's always something that you can talk about. I would just take caution in that everyone benefits from an ambulance service, and we have to take great care that we are not unintentionally discriminating against any particular populations. It's a very delicate balance. It's not a bad idea. I just want to call out that that's really what you're talking about, is how do you get the funding for the service that you are ensuring is provided to your residents.
Yeah. That's what you were saying, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Well said. Well
And
said,
that
Al.
was one of, Al, that was one of the revenue resources we looked at. So we may discuss,
Okay.
is doing a special assessment for police and fire.
Spoken like a lawyer.
Thank you.
I got you, Al.
Anybody interested in moving this forward?
I'll make a motion to accept the Eaton Area Ambulance Service Agreement.
Second,
Al?
third.
Doesn't matter.
We've got a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Congrats on getting this done, Karen.
Thank you. It was not easy, but thanks to our legal team as well.
We'll take a roll call vote.
Ms. Hagerman?
Yes.
Ms. Kellerman?
Yes.
Mr. Kotke?
Yes.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Fewins-Bliss?
Yes.
Ms. Butler-Challender, yes. Mr. Rosekrans?
Yes.
Thank you.
That motion carries. Thank you. That brings us to new business 14 on the agenda. Items for introduction and discussion. We have a Mallory building on M78, development for a special use permit. We have Superintendent and Trustee Hagerman.
Yeah, in Miles's absence, he needed to go on vacation, and I approved of that. So I think that the trustee and I could explain this to you and any questions that might pop up. We also have with us Chase Mallory, and I'm sorry I didn't catch your name, if you're Bill. Okay, thank you. Bill, here on behalf of the project. You did see this several years ago. You might recall some of this coming before you. It was dropped at that time, and I think that it was just, the world changed, COVID changed everything and changed their business model as well. But back again here to you, please let me know how I can assist you with this. This was before the Planning Commission last week for a vote. When I was there, Mr. Reich, the chair of that committee, and Trustee Hagerman both discussed and asked questions of it as well at that time. But I can go over a general description of the project unless you'd like to hear from the applicant and let them explain it to you probably much better than I could.
What's the pleasure of the board?
I think that would be probably wise.
Welcome.
Welcome, John.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yep, Chase Mallory, and, yes, like, she said, a couple years ago you saw this, and we're back with a new use. Half the building will be a comprehensive basketball training facility. So one-on-one training for basketball or 2v2, just really focusing on the individual, not running tournaments or anything out of it like that. And then the other side is going to be a tumbling, cheer, and stunt training, gym, so gymnastics, things of that nature. Yeah.
Very cool.
It's my understanding that this wouldn't be an open gym. It would be with organizations that have a contract with you for those services. This wouldn't be Trustee Kellerman and I feel like learning how to tumble and we're coming in to see you guys. It's by contract only, correct? Okay.
I'd sign a contract for that.
I just thought you were up
So
for
would
it.
there be like scheduled
Next
classes
week.
that people could enroll for?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Like any of the other gymnastics
Exactly.
gyms, okay.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I take it there's a market for that?
Certainly hope so.
I hope for your part it is. That's very interesting. Other questions?
I have one question. After you guys left the planning commission meeting, the comprehensive plan facilitator we were talking with, one of the topics of discussion that we got onto was some long-term water protection plans for the township, and the discussion of when you have a project like this, where I notice you have this retention pond on the east end here, talking about how is that maintained long-term? Like, we don't have any long-term conditions on it, the drain commissioner has some initial conditions, but like, what does that look like for maintenance long-term? Do you have to go in and have the silt dredged out of it so that it can hold the volume of water that it's intended to hold over its lifespan? Like, is there a plan for that? I know this is new and I'm springing this on you because I didn't ask about it at the meeting, but that came up after you in the meeting, and I got to thinking, well, we just approved this, maybe we should have asked that question.
Yeah, it really is, I mean, for our office that's just down the road from there, it's really just like general maintenance, being on N7 days, you get a lot of trash, you gotta go through and pick it up, and a place of business where people are coming and going, it's more advantageous for us to keep it clean, make it look nice, so people wanna come, and it's not a dump. So really, it's just going through and picking up, but to get the specifics of it, there's a spillway that'll lead out from that rain garden into the Ballman drain eventually. So really, it's just keeping that drain outlet clear of debris.
Okay.
It seems like the drain commissioner was here and talked about that. Either that or he talked with us at the planning commission when I was on it. I remember him talking about this when you guys were first applying for that.
Yeah, I
You
wasn't
remember that.
part of it at that point in time.
Oh, yeah.
Because I
was
expect that
on it.
probably we will get into the business of making that a condition, like you have to have some long-term maintenance plans for it, and then it could potentially be inspected or monitored to make sure that that's happening. Obviously, we didn't do that this time around, but perhaps in the future, that might be the direction that we take.
Yeah, I know in some other counties of the region where,
He was concerned about
soil
it, too.
erosion and sediment control kind of dictate that or monitor that.
Kate, are you saying that we would put that on this project in the future or on future projects that come before the planning commission?
I think in future projects, or we could say, hey, we're just gonna start inspecting all of the rain gardens and retention ponds around the township. And so if you haven't been cleaning it out over the last 20 years, we're gonna pay you a visit.
Interesting. All right.
And I'm just speaking for myself, I'm not speaking for the whole planning commission, but I know that we talked about it.
Is that your retirement gig?
Yeah.
Rain garden inspector?
Rain garden inspector.
I mean, that's a pretty cool title.
That was funny.
And there's two at the beach that should probably be cleaned out.
George Baker had asked that they add, you'll see the last condition on there, some trees for screening. There is to the south side of this project, an apartment complex that's on Coleman Road. And his thinking was that cars, mainly that pull into that back building, their headlights are gonna be shining right into that apartment complex, which honestly could be happening already, the way that it's set up. But I drove by there this week and peeked at it, and it did look like that was a fairly reasonable request. Like, the trees that are there are kind of mature, so their foliage probably wouldn't be low enough to the ground to block headlights.
That's why conifer trees are specified.
Yeah.
Some nice cedar. They don't grow real tall. It's spread out. And they are under other
That was,
trees.
I think that was.
And I don't think we've gotten any complaints, but I do think, just in the spirit of being good neighbors, that seemed reasonable.
Yeah, and they were amenable to that, so I think
Yeah.
that was a great addition by Planning Commissioner Baker.
All right. That sounds good. Other questions, other things you want us to know, Karen?
No, I'm comfortable with the project. Of course, Miles and the Planning Commission worked really hard on this, and I think they made a good decision. So this will be back for action at your next meeting. So if there's anything in the meantime, of course, you can reach out to Miles, or we can talk to the developers if there's anything, but we would take action as scheduled next time.
Great. Anything you gentlemen would like to add?
No, we're good.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you
Thank you
next
for being
meeting.
here.
All right, thanks.
All right, that brings us to 14 new business, large B items for action. We've got 2 closed sessions here, so I would ask our counsel to guide us on the motion to make sure we are covering them both.
Yes. Of course. It would be appropriate to have a motion to enter closed session for 2 purposes. The first is the strategy and negotiation sessions connected with the negotiation of a collective bargaining agreement. And the second is to consider material exempt from discussion or disclosure by state or federal statute to consider a confidential written legal opinion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
We have a motion. Al?
Al.
You're gonna make a difference.
We have a motion and a second to go into closed session for 2 purposes as defined by law. Are there questions, thoughts, concerns, or discussion? This is a roll call vote?
Yeah.
All right, hearing none, we'll move to a roll call vote.
Mr. Rosekrans?
Yes?
Ms. Hagerman?
Yes.
Ms. Kellerman?
Yes.
Mr. Kotke?
Yes.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Fewins-Bliss?
Yes.
Ms. Butler-Challenger, yes.
All right, to our friends in the audience, we'll move into closed session and be back as soon as we possibly can.
We don't
3-2.
Really?
Who are they playing?
Calgary.
Who are we waiting for? Oh, Brenda.
That's the Flames, isn't it? I have good friends that live there.
Do you really?
Yeah, and in Vancouver too.
We had a meeting judging.
Hey, Ryan.
Well, my son has hiked in band.
First time I've had that.
Oh, I know.
He did a 50-mile hike once in band.
Oh, we're gonna have.
Second one.
All right.
First one is you.
Welcome back. We're going to reconvene this Bath Charter Township Board of Trustees meeting for Monday, March 16th, 2026. We are on item 14, new business. B, items for action, little b, or I guess it's little c since we moved up the other closed session. Yes.
Please proceed.
Road Patrol Collective Bargaining Unit Agreement, Superintendent Hildebrand and Attorney Mills.
Yes, thank you.
Did you have something to say?
Yes, I believe Attorney Mills does. That's why my hand was raised. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Good evening, members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. As you have heard off and on from me over the not quite a year, we've had the privilege of working with the Police Officers Labor Council and particularly the non-supervisory unit and their representation in the course of negotiations, not only for what has already been long ago approved for the retirement benefits change, but also toward their successor labor contract. I am pleased to report to you that after good and diligent work by the bargaining team for the Police Officers Labor Council non-supervisory group and your team, we do have a tentative agreement for you in the packet today at page, I think there's a memo at page 56 in your packet, and the tentative agreement begins at page 57. That document outlines for you the various changes in the terms of the collective bargaining agreement between the POLC and the township. It has a 3-year term. It outlines updates on wages, healthcare related matters, and a variety of other things the parties worked on fairly diligently to, I would say, modernize and update your labor contract. It is with great pleasure, and I think I speak on behalf of the superintendent, that I would recommend that you do take action tonight to approve the non-supervisory unit tentative agreement for a contract through January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2028. I am, of course, available if you have questions regarding the contents of that tentative agreement, if you would like to discuss anything tonight.
I'll just make the motion to accept it.
Okay.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the Road Patrol Collective Bargaining Unit Agreement as presented. Is there further discussion or?
Is there a difference between accept or approve?
I'm comfortable with either because
Okay.
I know what we're doing, but
Yeah.
that was an excellent,
Probably
excellent
approve.
detailed question.
But do we?
Approve, guys?
Yeah.
Approve and accept.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that, is anything, any
Any
other
discussion?
questions?
Discussion is the word.
Questions I was looking for. Discussion as well. All right, hearing none, our clerk will take a roll call vote.
Ms. Kellerman?
Yes.
Mr. Kotke?
Yes.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Fewins-Bliss?
Yes.
Ms. Butler-Challender, yes. Mr. Rosekrans?
Yes.
Ms. Hagerman?
Yes.
Thank you.
That motion carries, thank you. Item new D is acceptance of the Michigan Arts Council grant.
Wait, because we moved up the other closed session, do you need to make a motion for that one?
We hadn't moved that
Okay.
item, so I
Okay.
just thought we'd leave it to
F,
be
F, okay.
E, I got A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Try not to confuse.
Oh, no, I guess it's still the F.
It's F.
Thank you, Sesame Street. So we need to accept the Michigan Arts Council grant that we were given. We had asked for 20,000, they gave us 16 for the art project that we discussed earlier tonight. Are there questions on this or action to be taken?
Motion to approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second, is there any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll do another roll call vote.
Mr. Kotke?
Yes.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Fewins-Bliss?
Yes.
Ms. Butler-Challenger, yes. Mr. Rosekrans?
Yes.
Ms. Hagerman?
Yes.
Ms. Kellerman?
Yes.
Thank you.
That motion carries. Next up is Clinton County Road Commission contract. Superintendent.
Thank you. As I mentioned earlier tonight in this meeting, George Baker, former chair of the Road Committee, and I went up to the Clinton County Road Commission last week and met with the team up there that help work on our roads. What you have in your packet, pages 65 through 73, is kind of the state of the roads in Bath Township. They were very excited to let us know that the quality of our roads has gone up 2 points. That may not seem like a big deal to you all, but apparently it is a very big deal. They were very pleased with the progress that we have made on our roads, and not just maintaining them, but actually progressing the condition of them and taking care of them. So I look forward to being able to at least maintain that in years coming. I know we will have some very great discussions on what that looks like as in terms of a millage or continued spending through the general fund. So I look forward to that. Some of what you have in that packet is a schedule for chloriding there, and it outlines the 3 different applications that will occur. There is a chloride schedule for all of the municipalities in Clinton County, if you're interested in that. On page 67, you have the cost share. This is if we take advantage of all the funds that are available to us, we will receive $114,491.99 in 2026 towards our road projects from the county, which is it is a number that continues to climb. I know Trustee Rosekrans we've seen years where that was less than 100, and so in the last few years, it's continued to climb, and that's good news for us. Not as fast as we may like, but it does continue to climb nonetheless. If you'd like to look at the 2025 investment report on page 68 for 2025, this was a year that we spent a lot of money because of the Webster Road corridor. So these numbers might look a little bit higher than some of the work that you've seen in the past, but we've spent a great deal on local maintenance, routine maintenance, bridge maintenance, winter maintenance, traffic sign and signal maintenance, and the list goes on there, for a total routine maintenance of $704,000 between the Clinton County Road Commission and us. I think this would be a great graphic for us to share on the website, maybe on Facebook, because I do think if people can see the investment we've made on our roads, please.
What's the difference between bridge maintenance and bridge maintenance?
I just actually was looking at that and thought, I don't know the difference between that. So I actually will ask Doug Steffen.
Is one them and one us?
It could be. It could be.
Like how much they put in and what we.
Yeah,
do?
I'll ask him to expound on it a little bit.
And honestly, $800
is
in
us
maintenance
and
seems like a very small amount.
I don't think you
I'm
could paint one for
struggling
that.
to even think of any non-MDOT bridges in Bath Township,
Yeah,
so maybe, I don't know.
yeah. But I will ask.
Okay.
So, but I do think this
Just
is an excellent
more out of
graphic.
curiosity. But if you shared this graphic, I'm
Yeah, I'm
certain that question would come up.
It would,
so.
it would, so I would want to be thorough and upfront with people, so. The second is the amount of roads that we have in Bath Township, Clinton County, on page 69. And it goes through not only us there at the top of the list, but also the rest of the municipalities that work with the Clinton County Road Commission. So you can see kind of where we stack up in terms of the miles that we have here of roads and what other people are doing in their municipalities as well. That final page, still same. Mileage, so paved, gravel, total, primary and local. And this was what I was looking for, page 71. Pavement condition, 2018 to 2025, primary roads. It gives you kind of a condition, they call it PACER ratings of good, fair, and poor. And we hope to bring that number up a little bit every year in good and fair. So your dollars are ever helping us increase the rateability, I guess, of our roads. So thank you very much, because I know I drive other places and it can be a bumpy ride. So I know we've all seen a great deal of talk on Facebook about gravel roads. I know that they made some improvements this last week in coming down the gravel roads and helping to take some of the chatter bumps off and filling in some of the holes. That work will continue. As you can tell, it snows, it's 70, it snows, it's ice, it's 70. We're gonna unfortunately continue to go through this a little bit. But they do, when the conditions are appropriate, make passes down those roads and intend on making them better. I know they will do some work to bring the sides of the road up and crown the roads so that the sides don't get kind of bushy and leave people with loose gravel over there. So they will continue their work on our behalf on the dirt roads, including gravel and chloride. So look for those improvements this spring and summer. And then the second part of that packet is actually the contracts from the Clinton County Road Commission for the projects that we chose that were within budget. We had $300,000 plus the 114 in cost share. So you're looking at these projects here. You've got the chloride, which is part of our regular maintenance for $70,000 approximately. You have brush spraying, which is routine maintenance. You have mowing and graveling the shoulders on all local gravel roads for approximately $5,000. Overband, $24,000, almost $25,000. You're looking at drum heller, placement of 3,000 tons of gravel, Chandler to Webster for approximately $56,000. Cutler Road, Watson to the Township line, as it again gravel. And then you'll see that the three projects that we approved will come to you at a later time. They should be getting prices for those out to bid right now, and they'll come back to us with those to contract with them for. But the ones that are in your packet tonight, I would ask that you act on tonight so that we can move ahead with our regular and routine maintenance of our roads.
So we just completely repaved and redid Webster Road, and it still can't get a 10 rating or a 9. Like, what do they want?
I don't know.
For that?
I don't know.
That's a good point.
But thank you for being observant.
Maybe the south
Maybe no
end.
road gets
Maybe
that.
the south end
Maybe.
didn't.
Well, there's 1% of the county local road. Maybe it's probably the one that goes right into the road.
It could be that it's the portion that goes north up to Cleiss. It could also be the
that's
south that goes
inferior.
past the highway. Yeah, it could be because a portion of it's not completed, so.
Well, that portion's not a county road either.
Oh, okay,
That's.
Thank you,
We
Al.
have to pay for that.
okay. But maybe that contributes
yeah,
to
we
it
were
not
just
being
wondering
a 10.
Because it's
What
not
the
whole
what the
road to
low
Webster.
10 segment is out there.
They're really careful about putting those give me tens out.
Yep.
So do we make a motion for all of them at once, or do we make a motion?
How about if I make the motion?
You're gonna
Oh.
do it? Awesome. You go for
I'll
it.
make a motion to approve the 6 Clinton County Road Commission contracts at a cost of $205,393.46.
I'll second that.
That's great. We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Fewins-Bliss?
Yes.
Ms. Butler-Chalender, yes. Mr. Rosekrans?
Yes.
Ms. Hagerman?
Yes.
Ms. Kellerman?
Yes.
Mr. Kotke?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That motion carries. Thank you. That brings us to letter F, action from closed session. Before we take any action, I'd like to inform the board that I'm recommending Jennifer Wilson to the appointment to the Bath Charter Township Housing Commission with an expiration date of December 31st, 2027, and would ask you to move that forward tonight.
Is that a motion?
It is not a motion. I'm formally recommending to you all Jennifer.
I'll make that motion.
Thank
that
you.
we-
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve Jennifer Wilson to appointment of the Bath Charter Township Housing Commission with an expiration date of December 31st, 2027. Is there further discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, I would just recommend that Treasurer Wilson not vote on that particular appointment, just for your records.
Good point.
Yep.
Do we have to vote to allow her not to vote?
It's a conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest.
I think in this case, let's go ahead and wear the suspenders with our belt and do that. So you can have that while your current motion is pending. So you would need a secondary motion to permit Jennifer Wilson to abstain from the vote on the appointment to the Housing Commission.
I would make that motion.
Second.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second to allow Treasurer Wilson to abstain from voting on her appointment to the Housing Commission. Any discussion? Is that a roll call vote?
Voice would be fine here.
All right. All those in favor with agreeing to allowing the treasurer to abstain from this vote, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion carries. That brings us back to the primary motion, which is to appoint Treasurer Wilson to the Housing Commission. Other discussion, questions, concerns? Hearing none, we'll take a voice vote on that as well.
Ms. Butler-Chalender, yes?
Oh, you're gonna do a roll call?
I guess so. I know, I caught myself right there.
What should we do, Lizzie?
I don't think that's a roll call, David. I think that's a voice vote
Voice.
as well.
Okay. I'll say
Okay.
it. I was gonna be first that time, right?
I don't know.
All those in favor of approving the appointment of Jennifer Wilson to the Bath Charter Township Housing Commission with an expiration date of December 31st, 2027, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion carries. Is there further action the board would like to take from closed session?
I would like to make a motion.
Please.
I would like to make a motion to direct legal counsel to appear at the next Housing Commission meeting to convey the township's concerns with the administration, and I don't know what that word is, anyway, the Housing Commission, and to proceed as recommended.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion? Everyone understand what the motion is?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes? All right.
she's got it. I had her write it down.
Let's do a roll call vote on that one.
Okay. No roll, Lizzie, should we do a roll call on that one, or?
Again, not necessary.
Okay.
Certainly, if that is important to the board to emphasize the direction, then you certainly may.
Why don't we, since we're directing legal counsel, which includes, I'm sure you're gonna bill us for that, right?
It will be on expenditure.
I was just trying, I got a coupon, so.
All those in favor?
Go ahead,
Call, roll
Yeah,
call?
yeah.
Okay.
keep you busy.
Ms. Butler-Chalender, yes. Mr. Rosekrans?
Yes.
Ms. Hagerman?
Yes.
Ms. Kellerman?
Yes.
Mr. Kotke?
Yes.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Fewins-Bliss?
Yes.
Thank you.
That motion carries, thank you. Any other actions from closed session that this board is interested in taking? All right, that brings us to the end of our action, our business tonight. Next item is 15, Superintendent's Report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to note that the supervisor and I, along with Chief Matt Mardigan, met with Superintendent of Bath Public Schools, Chris Hodges, last week. It was a very productive meeting. It initially came from a place of wanting to coordinate on school safety. I think in talking to Mr. Hodges, Superintendent Hodges, we learned that there were a lot more things that we could be coordinating on. And so it was a very welcome and interesting meeting with him. I think that as we proceed through our meetings with him, different parties will be invited to those meetings. I do think police and fire will probably take priority in a safety direction to work with the school to make sure that their staff and our staff is prepared should anything occur in the community. I think there's room for us to have discussions about millages coming up, coordinating our elections with the schools, and I think there are some legislative changes coming our way that might kind of predict when those things will occur. And I think there's more in terms of development. I think there's room for our planner and different people to be meeting with the superintendent. So I really look forward to a productive relationship with him. It was the first time I formally met him, and he seems like a great guy, and he seems like he really cares about our schools and our community. So I look forward to working with him into the future. On another note, bids were received last week for the Chandler Road project. There will be a meeting this week for Bath Township, our engineers, and the Clinton County Road Commission to come together to review those bids. Depending on the three companies that bid, there is a wide disparity of costs. So we will come together and try to determine who we work with as a bidder and what we can do to work on some of those costs or clarify items so that we can get to a truer sense of cost. I will keep you updated as we move through that process. We are still working with on easements for the project, so that work will continue. And I will just keep you apprised as we move through that. It's going to be complicated. Some of the prices obviously were high and higher than anticipated, so we will work through some of the levers that we can pull to get to a project that is worthwhile in creating economic development in that corridor and meeting the purpose with which we received funding from the state. So that will continue, so stay tuned. And the last item, I had the privilege of attending the Planning Commission meeting last week. They were focused on the comprehensive plan and economic development, which was a very interesting conversation, to say the least. I will probably send out to you some of the materials, maybe the meeting recording and some other materials for you to take a look at, because that economic development is, of course, one of your strategic plan priorities, and I think it would behoove you all. I did mention to the group that I think a joint meeting on possibly some things that might be coming in the future might be of interest to you all, but I do think you share some of the same thoughts and feelings about the community moving forward, and so and some places where you also differ. So I do think there could be an opportunity for us to have a shared meeting sometime in the near future, and I think the Planning Commission would enjoy that as well, and I think it would serve to get you all on the same page in terms of your goals for this community. As two of the, I think, best functioning units in this government, I do think there's room for you to be on the same page, share your views and opinions, and see where you differ, just so we can all move forward together. So I look forward to that opportunity. I think the Planning Commission is very open to that objective. So I would look forward to being able to coordinate that for you all if that's something that you're interested in doing. So. But the meetings are very interesting as they try to section through the comprehensive plan. There's been some really great discussions that are occurring at the Planning Commission. So if you can, I would invite you to join in, at least watch, and if you can't attend, it's some very interesting conversations about the future of our community. So questions for me? It's been a pleasure. You guys were very productive tonight. I thank you all for your conversations and your questions and your concern for the welfare of our community. So I appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That brings us to item 16, Public Statement 2. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to speak to the board, you have an additional 3 minutes now to talk about other township activities other than what's on the agenda today. Step up to the lectern, introduce yourself, and we'll start your timer. Our audience seems not mobile toward the lectern, so I assume that's a no. Then we will go to board member comments, and where do we start today? Kate.
All right. Any updates on the committees?
We don't have committees.
We don't have
Community groups?
I don't think the count of applications has changed since you were last updated.
Okay, is there a plan for just going ahead and getting started with the people who have applied?
Staff has discussed that, and we will be moving ahead with the people that we currently have and inviting them to assist us with moving forward.
Okay, and I couldn't find my schedule of who reports when.
Yeah, we'll get back on track with that. There's been a lot of movement with many, many other things, so my apologies to you, but thank you for holding me accountable. I do appreciate that. And I believe police and fire will be two of the first groups up, and I welcome them. I know they have been attending many of our meetings, but I welcome them to providing you all with an update on their progress and activities. There's some movements in hiring, and there's some movements in training, so I think there's some exciting updates to follow for all you all. So thank you very much for bringing that up.
And then the other thing I wanted to share to kind of piggyback off of what Karen said or shared about the planning commission is one of the other topics that we added to our agenda last week and spent a little bit of time discussing is data centers. It's a hot topic in a lot of communities, and it might fall in our laps, it might not, but I would encourage you to keep an ear out for that discussion as it's going forward. And I haven't looked specifically at what MTA is offering, but if they do have a session about it, it might be a good idea that at least somebody goes to it, because I know other municipalities in our area are having these discussions currently.
Williamston, I think.
Mason, I know for sure, yeah.
Ryan.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to just jump in. Piggybacking on Trustee Hagerman's comments, I am attending a data center training through MSU Extension this week. They usually make the recordings available, and they usually make their handouts available, so I look forward to being able to provide that for all of you, because they usually have some interesting takes on those types of developments, so I will share that information with you once I have those.
Is that on the web or is it in person?
It's on the web. So you could, I could send you the link to sign up as well,
I-
if you'd like to attend it
Yeah, I would definitely.
at the webinar. Okay.
Thank you.
I'll send that to you.
That's it.
Yeah?
I'd like to thank the police and fire for their services, and all they do for us. It's a thankless job. Thank you.
We're gonna have a May 5th election just for the voters who are in the Ingham ISD school district. There's about 3,800 voters. We should have the ballots sometime next week, and the AV ballot should be mailed out next week sometime.
Great. I will be absent at the next meeting, April 6th. I have asked Kate to take my spot. You all actually control that, so the agenda will look a little different with some, I think Brenda will call us to order and then ask for an appointment of a supervisor pro tem or something like that. So we'll make sure that's laid out for you. But I did line someone up to pinch hit for me. I'll be in DC advocating for education stuff with our Congress, hoping that that still matters in the world. We'll see. But I wish I could be here, but I am out of town. Don't forget that we have changed the schedule for our meetings next month. So we'll have April 6th regular meeting, April 20th canceled, April 27th a sort of special meeting, but really it's a moved regular meeting from April 20th. So that you all recall that, and anybody who's watching can tune in at the right time. Tomorrow, Karen and I are going to the MTA Capital Conference. We'll learn more about policy and advocacy issues for townships across the state. I'm looking forward to that. Maybe even have a meal with our legislators. I'm not sure if, do you know if
I think there will be some
our
opportunities.
people are gonna, Penelope and Sam?
I think so. I haven't checked on RSVPs.
Yeah, I didn't either. All right, well, hopefully. But we'll be there. And then many of us are headed to the MTA conference in Traverse City the 20th through the 24th, which is why we canceled that meeting, so I'm looking forward to that. I just saw an email about making your plans for what you want to do that week, so tune in and see what you want to attend. And then lastly, for Ray, I promised that I would start working on the board rules. I have started working on the board rules, so we can get that task done. Hopefully, maybe by the 27th, we can have something to at least look at. That's it for me.
I have nothing.
Not even a thank you for the job that we've just entrusted you?
I'm all for it.
What do you, I wanna know what you're gonna do with the money.
Go wild.
I don't have anything specific. I just wanna thank all the board members and superintendent and council for the hard work that we accomplished tonight. You two also. And, you know, some hard decisions were made, but Somebody had to do it, and we did it.
Thank
Ditto that, and thank you too over there for good meeting.
All right, thank you, board members. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll have a voice vote. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?